The bulls say, hey, the bears say, bye, because Bitcoin is nearly at a new all-time high. Yes, did it again. Welcome to the FOMO Factory. I want to go over the market and I want to go over your guys' opinions about what we are asking ourselves about the market, what we are thinking about it, and what we can expect for crypto in maybe the coming weeks/months. And what we can already see, though, is that Bitcoin is having a little trouble at this point, but that's nothing too weird. But it is pushing towards new all-time highs. It went as high as $108,000 today, actually, and the wick high is 109.4, let's say. So we're getting pretty close to it. And it's not weird that it's going to take some time, maybe. Maybe Bitcoin feels like we're going to blast right through it. But overall, I try to focus this channel on the slightly longer term anyway. So whether it happens today, tomorrow, next week, I'm fine with it. But it's obvious, of course, that the market is showing a lot of strength. And that's what I want to go over with. So welcome to the FOMO Factory. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. I'm happy you are still sticking with us. I know that there have been some pretty hard times in crypto, especially the beginning of April, where Bitcoin went all the way down to $74,000. There was a lot of panic in the market. People were wondering, like, it's over maybe, or maybe, it's a left translated cycle or this or that. And just like that, a few weeks later, it's back like it's nothing, right? And that's what Bitcoin is kind of known for in this bull market, but in any bull market, basically, going up and just retest certain levels, right? Going up really hard, retest levels, going up, retest that level again, and now it's up again. Right, so there's nothing worrying about that, in my opinion. And I think actually that the best stage of the market is yet to come. And that has a lot more to do with just seasonality. But maybe sometimes it's even better to not overcomplicate it, right? Maybe we should just look at it like that. Like, hey, guys, it's the post-halving year. That's the best year for crypto. Right. And yeah, I mean, so far, the news-wise, it wasn't great with the tariffs, right? However, Bitcoin is kind of at the same point as where it was at the beginning of this year, with actually only bad news. So I don't mind. Let's go over a couple of YouTube comments. I always like to do that. So let's go get into that. Made a video about some crypto influencers not being completely honest. And somebody said they suck you in and then dump on you. I assume that there are definitely people that do that, right? They have a big following, so they buy up a coin and then they dump it as soon as it pumped. And I think it's illegal, but I'm not sure. Maybe depends on the country, right? But yeah, I hope that if they do that, they will eventually have to pay back that money that they made from that as well. Yeah. So somebody asked an interesting question, at least. So in your opinion, what is a good project to jump into right now? And that's a little hard to say, right? I don't know what your risk tolerance is. I don't know the kind of coins that you like. And maybe you want to hear me say, well, this project has the best upside compared to the downside. I don't know. I speak a lot about my portfolio, the coins that I hold. And overall, I would say it's not really the season to go super high risk at this point, right? Like we have seen in the recent, small recovery that the altcoin market had, that the high caps do at least just as fine as the small caps. We had Ethereum almost 2xing from the bottom. We had Chain GPT, which is already a little more high risk, of course, compared to an Ethereum, but also 3xing from the recent lows. We had AIOZ doing 3x. We have Render doing fantastic. AVAX is very well. Aerodrome, right? So I feel like, man, there is a time for Bitcoin. That time was basically until now. There's a time for high caps and there's a time for lower caps. I wouldn't stress about it too much. I think that the market in general is way more important to follow and to play it like that than the type of coins that we are buying right now. Eventually, everything will kind of go up and down together with each other, right? And there's always an exception here that goes up harder or falls harder, but yeah, I mean, I made a lot of videos about the altcoins that I like. And in the Alpha Factory, I share my complete portfolio. So you can even track it in real time if you like. But I'm not going to suggest one specific coin or anything. Because I just don't think that that's the best thing to do right now. The Crypto Ninja is also, or is another one, scam. Crypto Ninja could be. I discussed a couple. Like there are so many influencers out there, right? Somebody posted a link. I don't know why links are allowed, but I don't need links on my channel. Could be a little dangerous. Somebody says, "Someone take that voice changer away from him."
Well, I don't know, but fuck off.
Look, I see some people saying like, "Oh, you should not do that." Sorry, I like it, so let's go. Somebody said Pulsechain, baby, let's go. I wish you all the best of the best. That's all I can say. We have this person comes in every now and then to say something negative, and then he disappears for a while. He says this moron with his hair transplant. Like, why is that relevant? Like, this moron, he has a nose and hair, but okay. He thinks the market makers will give retail the opportunity to break even from the past November, December highs. Look, I mean, you have to understand, not everybody bought these highs, right? Not everybody bought here. Some people also took their profits right here and bought lower, right? So for a lot of people, it's not a matter of playing even, right? But do I think that the market makers, whoever they are gonna give retail a chance? Yeah, I don't think that this time is different. I don't think that for some reason everything is gonna fully change from now on. And yeah, I mean, yeah, be a little careful, man. I mean, you could also just make money in this market, but you have to stay a little more optimistic, bro. Do it for yourself. In my opinion, the action we are seeing shows Altseason won't start until at least after the coming Bitcoin correction to 87K. Okay, the coming Bitcoin correction. The potential coming Bitcoin correction star. I mean, Bitcoin is at an all-time high, right? And I know it's popular to call for corrections all the time, and I understand that, but maybe not, right? But 87K, I mean, it could be that it goes there. There's a possibility for sure. I don't see the relationship between that and Altseason, though. It's not that Altseason only starts when Bitcoin has a correction. Otherwise, I mean, we had a lot of corrections, so we should have had a lot of Altseasons. Somebody says 70 or 72% Bitcoin dominance possible. Everything is possible, I guess. I mean, look, yeah, to answer, I don't know if it's a question or a statement, but if it's a question, then my answer would be, yes, it's possible. Is it likely, in my opinion? I would not count on it. I look, the thing is, though, that every indicator for the Bitcoin dominance is on the bigger time frames, right? Is more overbought than what it has been in the last 6 years, basically, right? So overall, to say like it could go there, yeah, it could go there, but it's kind of like if Bitcoin in the last cycle is 65K, right? And you say like, well, it goes to 69. It could, right? And that happened. It could. But is it really worth the risk to take a long bet right there, right? Like that's how I'm looking at it. But who knows, man? There's a possibility. However, it depends. Look, if I look at the this chart right here, this is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stable dominance. So this is basically the dominance of the entire market except altcoins, right? Including Ethereum, but all the other altcoins. Yeah, and this is sitting really high right now, right? Could it have a spike like we had last cycle? It could. Again, but it could also not. And yeah, I mean, what if not? Are you going to bet on the fact like that will happen? And what if it doesn't happen, right? The upside versus the downside. Yeah, that risk reward ratio is, for me, it's completely off the table at least. Okay, so this is funny. So I got a couple comments about people from the Hex Pulsechain community, and that's a funny story because I was doing a review on Twitter where I went over random things that I saw on Twitter, right? Because we know that Twitter is a pretty dangerous place with people cloud farming and giving like weird price predictions. And somebody said something about Pulsechain with a 250x target, and I said that like you are pretty much a retard if you go out on Twitter and say stuff like that. The thing is that when I said that, people started making videos about me and and they were like insulting me for it, and this guy was even threatening me. I was like, wow, that's yeah, that's also a way to do it. But the thing is, I look, and for the guy that made this video, you have to understand, dude, like I look on Twitter, I see somebody saying this coin 250x, and it's even more extreme than that, right? Yeah, then I am going out on Twitter saying like, you know, you are maybe a little weird. That's maybe not okay, right? I'm not saying that it can't happen, but I try to this community. They're weird. They're like, it's hard to talk to these people. But I'm not saying that it cannot happen. I never said that. I am saying that if you give out publicly price predictions like 250x possible, 500, then I feel like, man, you have a pretty lack of responsibility. Plus, if you have a little experience in this market, you know that it's good that you believe in something, but you should not assume that that happens. It's crypto, right? I think I thought at least that everybody understands that, but it turns out to be that the whole Pulsechain community, the Hex community, they give these kind of price predictions quite often. And hey, I don't mind. It's a cult. It's a community. That's good, right? They believe in something, and a lot of projects can use that. But there are better ways to express that than to give ridiculous price predictions. Because if someone says like, hey, you're a fucking idiot if you post this kind of stuff, right? Then they feel attacked as a project. And now half of the community is crying over what I said. I feel like, oh, dude, but if somebody says this about my favorite project, I will call him an idiot as well, right? But yeah, I mean, this whole community is now upset. Like, oh, you're attacking me. And then the guy makes a video. He hates Pulsechain, bro. I don't care about Pulsechain, about hacks, about all the weird shit that Richard Hart is doing and all that kind of stuff. I can't care less. It happens to be that it was a community member of that project that said something ridiculous for the, I don't know how many years time. And that's what I responded to. But you feel I'm attacking your project and that can't happen. We are already emotional enough, right? I mean, you also said that X is a better Bitcoin. And I understand, like if I have to reply to that, if you look at Hex Bitcoin, yeah, I mean, I get where the emotions are coming from, man. Yeah, it did a 10,000x. Yeah, it also had like 5 bear markets in one. Like, I mean, again, it's not about your project. Don't feel so fucking attacked, man. But whoa, this community is like fucking emotional, dude. Anyway, I thought it was pretty funny though. Epic intro. I like that somebody likes that. Yeah, there we go. Thanks for your TA. All your thoughts are spot on, in my honest opinion. Yeah, it's not always like nobody, right? But we try to, you know, stay a little down to earth and not. I don't like when people are being too moonboyish, but also if people are just very bearish when the market is clearly showing us like, hey, but it's looking good, right? So I don't know. It's just better to be unbiased in this whole market. Somebody says, bro, please stop with the silly voice effects. You don't need that for engaging content. Love, leave that stuff for Crypto Banter.
I'm sorry, sir. I promise I won't do this again. I already broke my promise. Oh.
Sorry. Somebody always comments, VRA, love the dedication. And Tars. This guy will be screaming Altseason till he is 60 years old. Altcoins are dead. Bro, look, I'm not really screaming, I think, but yeah, I am definitely talking about Altseason when the Bitcoin dominance is showing. Like, yeah, I mean, what do you want me to do? But honestly, right? When I was bullish on Bitcoin here and bearish on altcoins here, people gave me shit for not being in altcoins. And now that the Bitcoin dominance is up quite a lot, people say like, well, yeah, but no altcoins are there. Bro, do you realize that you're trading that the complete other way around? Like, that's exactly the point that I'm trying to tackle, right? And again, that's not a guarantee that there will be an alt season, but I'm also not gonna bet on the slowest horse, right? It's very simple. When the Bitcoin dominance is low, yeah, then it's time to be bullish on Bitcoin, and when the Bitcoin dominance is high, it's time to be bullish on altcoins, right? And your feelings will always tell you the opposite, of course. It's the same as the dollar chart for Bitcoin. When it's low, people hate Bitcoin. I don't like it's dead. And when it's 106K, oh, I wish I bought Bitcoin. Yeah, dude, like, yeah, somebody woke up with the wrong attitude. Crypto Banter is so sleazy with bizarre crypto projects as recommendations. It's just not my type of content, man. And I hate sometimes pointing out negative things because I like everything to be positive. But yeah, then again, I'm not here to make friends. Not like I cannot care less about what you think of me. Actually, if I see people being irresponsible with a big audience in public, I'm happy to point that out, right? Because that could be dangerous, right? I got wrecked like that in the last cycle as well, right? And then that YouTuber also in his Pulsechain video said like, yeah, well, you should always do your own research. I get that, dude. I'm in crypto longer than today. I get that, but you should also realize that you should do your own research. You are the guy that's following Richard Hart because he wears fucking Gucci. So if anyone cannot think for himself, then it's you. So last thing I want to say about that, but I know that people should think for themselves. But we also know that a lot of people at least, don't do that, right? Especially the newer people that are about to flow into crypto. Where do they get the information from? Yeah, from YouTube, right? That's what it is. We know that it's wrong, but we also know that it happens, right? And therefore, yeah, there are just a lot of abusers on YouTube, and I think it's important that people point that out. Actually, I want one thing. Yeah, you say sorry, English, my second language, no problem, mine as well. But I want one thing from my YouTuber that I follows. He must be open about the day that he sells most of his portfolio. Will you please do that on that day? I'm not an expert, so I rely. Again, I am not an expert, so I rely on my YouTubers. Your YouTubers, including me, are also not experts. So you have to understand that, though. But to answer your question, yeah, I will be transparent about when I make my buys and when I make my sells. And it's not to shill it. Don't, get in there if you don't want. But in the L Factory, I share my complete portfolio so you can literally follow every transaction that I make. However, when I sell, it's not necessarily the time that you should sell, right? Because I am not trying to sell when I think that the market is topping out. I'm selling as soon as I reach my goal for a big part. And that may be way sooner than that the market is topping out. And people will say, oh, you sold too soon. I sold too soon maybe if I was trying to sell as high as possible. But I think it's important to consider that that's harder than just setting your goals and trying to reach those. So try to do that. Try to think like, how much money do I have right now? How much do I want to make? 5x, 10x, cool. Set your goals accordingly. Whatever the market does, right? And if your goal is 5x and you walk away with that, and the market does another 5x after that, will that suck? Yeah, but the goal is to reach your goal, right? And it's better to do that than to be like, I want to make 100x with the market, and then you sit at 80 and you round trip it. That sucks. You should make shorter content, optimize the time. Sometimes it gets a bit boring. Yeah, that's what he says as well. Like that's a preference thing, I think. Some people like it shorter, some people like it longer. But I will try to have a mixture in all of those. Sometimes I'll make them short. I get you, but yeah. Intro sucks, but let's watch the rest. You at least gave it a chance, right? Yeah, again, look, and that's so funny. Again, like how that certain communities in crypto can be very, very toxic. Like, and therefore I also feel like crypto is a dangerous place, right? Because if you look, the best thing that I have learned in this market is to be a little realistic, right? Can 100x's happen in crypto? Yeah, therefore it's crypto, right? But if the moment you start assuming they will, that's where you get wrecked, right? Because most projects, they don't, and you should be happy with a lot less. But at the moment you are on the realistic camp, in my opinion, and you point that out, then people are getting mad at you for, you are a joke. Bro, I'm a joke for saying that it's idiotic to publicly expect, in this case, a Ponzi as well, by the way, to do a 250x. What is this not the other way around? Like, I mean, and then you get that, yeah, Richard Hyde, he did very well with his first coin. Yeah. Look, I mean, is that all that, like, you're holding on to with Pulse? Like, well, Hex did very well. Yes, back in the day when a lot of people still kind of thought that Richard Hart was okay, right? But most people, like, I get that there are still people thinking that, but I think a lot of people have came to their senses. And you saw, right? what Hex did, like in a bull market, when the market conditions are fine, when the timing is fine, when you have when you mindfuck to people the right way, right? When they're like, when everything aligns, then it does well, definitely. But it also showed in a bear market, it went like, there's, I think, nothing that went down harder as well. So it made a lot of people rich. Depends on how you look at it. If they bought here, and I don't know how the staking periods work. Like I said, I don't know about it probably because I don't care. But yeah, if they bought here and they sold here, yeah, people became rich. Or even if they bought here, right? But yeah, same other way around. If they bought here, they literally lost everything, right? So it's also like, yeah, if it's actually that strong and all that good, then why did it crash literally like worse than anything else combined? That's very bad, man. So yeah, what do you think is going to happen to the second token? Yeah, I expect that it will crash just as hard, actually. And there is not a guarantee. Look, I mean, it's a little like Luna, right? The Oak released a coin, went up very hard, made a lot of people rich, completely crashed because, hey, did it turn out to be a real legit project? No. If he now makes a second coin, should you automatically expect that that will also 10,000x just because his previous project did? That's if you don't like, I mean, you don't have to rule it out, but don't assume it will. Like, come on, man. I hope it's just a little helpful, man. I mean, well, whatever. Roll on Altseason. Look, the thing with Altseason is, man, does it take a lot of time? Yeah, sure, definitely. Does it mean it won't happen? No, right? And I kind of like it like this, actually, because in the meantime, Bitcoin is sitting well over 100K, right? The total crypto market is sitting at $3.3 trillion, right? So the money is rolling into the market. So although it's not rolling into altcoins specifically yet, the money is at least there, right? The hardest thing, I think, is getting the money in the market, not shuffling the money in the market. And it looks to me like the perfect setup, which eventually is going to play out. And yeah, I mean, if you feel like, no, it's not going to happen, so I'm not going to prepare when things are like very low right now, that's totally fine. But I'm saying there is a very, very, very decent chance that you miss out on something really big if you say that it's not going to happen. And for the people that assume that it will happen, yeah, hold on. I mean, the reward will be high, I think. When the smart crypto guys can't even find the token that the morons are talking about, go find it. Yeah, but then at least try to, list your token on CoinGecko. It's not that hard, man. I mean, I am not like going. Look, bro. I don't know how to say this, actually. I'm not even going to try. Menno, great content. Don't sleep on Supra, vriend. You're Dutch. Or you're just spelling friend with a wrong. But yeah, with Supra, I have a little bit in my portfolio, but I'm not buying more until I see that it is really turning around a little bit. I'm not really convinced at this point. Thing with Supra is that it's just, look, say whatever you want, but it is really weak, right? It is really weak, and I don't want to buy in the weakness. That's kind of the thing, right? It has a bottom here on its Bitcoin pair. Potentially makes a double bottom here. But yeah, I mean, we had it here and here as well, and still it went down. So sometimes I think the best trade is no trade. See how it plays out, and eventually I'm gonna look like okay, what's the right move to take with this one? Somebody says worst crypto influencer ever. Yeah, okay, yeah. Considering some people are also doing this, that's very, very, very insulting, sir. But thank you. So somebody said Altseason always started when Bitcoin topped out, and I'm sometimes a little curious because he doesn't say why, but it's not the case actually. If you look at the Bitcoin dominance, right, that's one indicator for Altseason, just Bitcoin dominance going down, right? It's Altseason. But if you look at Bitcoin and you overlay that, right, when did Bitcoin top out? It was here in this cycle and here in this cycle, right? Come on, line. Oh, now I have to, right? But if you then look back, like here, but Altseason in 2017 started here, right? That's 3/4 of a difference. And Altseason here, right, started here. And that's pretty much a year difference. So it's not even, I don't know why you're saying this, because it's not even not true. It's like very much not true, actually. So, no, not sure, man, but please let me know. Let me see. So this Dutch, and he says in Dutch how bad my English is. Okay, I think that's pretty funny. Let me see. So okay, whoa, wait. Somebody said, you and your video inspired me. I'm gonna be that retard. Maybe I should not use that word. Maybe it's a little offensive. I will say idiot next time, okay? Let me change that. I'm gonna be that idiot, your words, not mine, who comes back every so often to update you on the success of... Oh my God, there we go again. Each time... Look, bro, I don't give a fuck. If it does, look, I don't know what you guys think that I hate the project for. I'm not hating the project. I don't even care. I don't care. I don't care about your project, okay? If it does 100x, I'm happy for you, bro. It's okay. You don't have to come at me like, haha, like what's... I didn't get hurt by it, right? Plus, if it does like insane numbers, then it's probably because the rest of the market does as well. So I'm also fine, right? But yeah, again, to wrap it up, I have no problem with the project, at least not that I mentioned. If you believe in it, that's totally fine. I mean, it's the better Ethereum, right, as they call it. And well, if we have to go over that a little bit, then that's totally cool. Ethereum, total value locked, $60 billion. And Pulsechain is 280 million. It's like 300 times less. Yeah. Look, it's their own statements that they make all the time that makes it very controversial, right? It's the better Bitcoin. Well, apparently that didn't really work out. And now Pulsechain is the better hex. And yeah, it's like absolutely the opposite of that. And then it's like, well, just you wait. Like, yeah, I get that. I get the whole just you wait thing. But you put it on yourself a little bit by these kind of things, right? And with Richard Hart being the dude that he is, I mean, if you like that, then you like that. That's fine. But yeah, I have my opinions about it, but not enough to go on YouTube about it, actually. Again, what I said was about a community member, and these comments kind of, prove my point. how this community operates. So yeah. I'm gonna put my whole stack in Pulse. Okay, good luck, man. Let me see. It's not a positive day today. One scammer selling his trash services, bashing other scammers, scamming Inception. I don't know. I don't even know if I understand your sentence. Are you suggesting that I'm a scammer? Because I'm not selling you like these YouTube videos are for free. But I am last time I don't know how I'm scamming you, man. I don't see it. Appreciate your comment, bro. Crypto Banter has wrecked a lot of newbies with their bad calls and their scam meme coin. Look, I don't really care about their bad calls. Again, everybody makes them. Me as well, right? I don't really care about that. My problem with them is, let me look at their coin, by the way. Wow. From 16 cents to like, what is this? A sixth of a cent? Holy crap. Yeah, and then to think that they have a community of a couple million people, right? Their market cap is just as big as Web3 Whales. And we have a community of a few hundred, like, what's going wrong there? But yeah, my problem with them is more that they just like, they just use you. So yeah. Somebody said Crown is a Bitcoin Maxi, he can't help himself. Yeah, I mean, it's fine being a Bitcoin Maxi. I don't care about that. I mean, eventually the Bitcoin Maxis win, right? Over the long term. That's cool. But in that case, you should not consider talking about altcoins that much. There we have Sammy. Your friend Sammy, positive dude. But there we go again. Yeah, again, look, and that's where the IQ is a little lagging right here. Pulsechain will do well. Not sure why 100x, 200x seems out of the world to you. Again, bro, that's not what I said. I said in this video, could it do that? Yes, sure, everything can. Should you open up a public X account with quite some followers and post these unrealistic targets over there, assuming that it will, that's where the idiotic part comes in place. And I think that I cannot understand that people don't understand that, actually. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. Let me check. Okay, let me check. Somebody said about the Twitter influence video. I thought it was a good video for sure. I like some guys like Becker, but I understand that he's playing a character, making money for himself. Yeah, I mean, like I said as well, like he's just it's just funny, right? But you should not really rely on the fact of you getting valuable content out of it necessarily. I like Murad, but I understand what you're coming from. And same thing as Becker. I think we can make money alongside from these guys. Yeah, but probably, as you point out, not by following their calls. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like if they call a coin, they already have it, right? And you are the receiver of that call, right? Together with the other million followers. So who are you actually front running in that case? So yeah, I think that these big influencer calls are a little overrated, actually. Funny, sharp content, appreciate you, man. Bitcoin 114K, 26th of May. Thank me later. That's always very specific. Somebody said you don't get to decide that. It will be very funny if it's true. Let me check. Great video, respect the honest story. I've been following these guys for a while. They're full of shit, just making money with YouTube. Why would you still make YouTube videos if you're living in Dubai with millions? Well, to answer that, look, if I would make it, right, in whatever that means, I would still make YouTube videos. Like, and that's just because some people like working, but even this is not like, it is work, but it's more entrepreneuring, right? Coffee, yeah. But it's more like entrepreneuring, and some people like that. Actually, I personally am not the type to just go on a lifetime vacation and do nothing. I would drive myself crazy. So, yeah, I don't know. But I can't answer that for them, of course. Somebody said, did you call yourself a dickhead? I can't remember, but I probably did. Yeah, I'm sure I did. Like, yeah, why not? Great show, thank you. What are your thoughts on Pepe and the Boys Club members? Well, I mean, I'm not holding it myself, but yeah, you can't lie. I mean, Pepe did like crazy, right? It was the meme coin. Thanks, man. It was the meme coin of this cycle, basically. It did very fantastic. And then you have the Boys Club, as far as I know, with 4 or 5 other meme coins that are originally belonging there. It's not my field. So to be really honest, actually, I don't have an opinion about it. So I don't like it. I don't dislike it. But I'm also not holding it. I'm the wrong person to ask, I think. But hey, Pepe is the example that it could go very well, right? So somebody said, look into Rune. Yeah, Rune had some trouble, right? But it's doing well again, I guess, from basing off of your comment. Not really. Yeah. Rune is I feel there's if it goes up really well, then it just goes up, I think, with the rest of the market. And then for me, I feel like I just have exposure to the rest of the market. Rune doesn't have a great reputation since whatever happened right here. So, but it could still do. I mean, still a huge market cap, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah. That's so weird. Also, I got into a discussion again here also about this whole Pulsechain thing, and somebody said, "You seem butthurt by the X community." No, again, I just have an allergy to people being idiots publicly on Twitter, and it happens to be from that community, but you feel attacked. So this guy basically said, you're bothered and get off your high horse and you're a bitch and this and that. And one comment later he said, I like your content. It's different. You're like, huh? Are you nice or not? Like, I don't know how to respond to you, bro. But okay. You are promoting the biggest shit coins. I'm not promoting coins on this channel, actually. So yeah. Blocked all Crypto Banter related channels long ago. Shit is gay. That's straight up. No, it's not straight. Yeah, well, no, I don't think that should be the reason to block them. But yeah, I think it's hurtful, for sure. Somebody said, I do like House of Crypto. I can see why. Alex Becker is one of the biggest scammers in crypto. Alex, Elio, Ren, all these guys. I don't know. I don't know. Ren for sure. But Alex and Elio. A lot of people say that. I notice. And a lot of people like your comment, by the way, as well. I mean, they have a huge following, right? So people automatically assume that they will dump on you, and they probably did. But I don't know. I can name bigger scammers in this space. Most of them make money on viewers, not cool calls. Yeah, true. Somebody said, I think Elio is is honest, genuine. I don't know how to pronounce it. He makes terrible calls, but I don't think he's trying. He's back trying to plan screwing others. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, he's running a very successful project, like literally one of the biggest outperformers. Like, man, it's already successful. Somebody said, I do believe that Telegram is far more dangerous than Twitter for, yeah. Telegram is, yeah, if you want to get scammed, be on Telegram. And I'm not saying that you should not be there, but every message that you get from anybody that you don't know, block that person, period. Just do that, right? Somebody said, I think that people like Murad, I think those people like Murad did buy the bottom, but made a tweet with purpose to dump on his followers. Somebody responded, Murad did say when Bitcoin was in the 70s and he was bullish on the lows publicly. I responded, he also said SPX will do 100x at the top, and from there it crashed with 80%. It could still happen though, but I don't know. I just like I just don't like Murad as he is too bullish on memes. Again, it's saying 200x this, 200x that, and I feel like, yeah, but you know how new people in crypto work, right? They at 180x, if that happens, they won't sell because you said 200x. Like, be a little careful. I know people, again, should think for themselves, but they don't. You have responsibility in some kind of way. Need more videos like this. Coming up, tomorrow. Full video. Every crypto YouTuber will get it. I mean, would you sell your Bitcoin at the end of the cycle and buy back in the bear market, or best just to hold? Yeah, it depends on your strategy. Overall, if you want to feel like, hey, you know, I want to stay on top of it a little bit and just sell somewhere in the bear and buy somewhere low. You don't try to time the bottom and the top. But that can make you a lot more Bitcoin. If you don't want to have that stress, you could also say, like, you know what? I'm going to just DCA weekly or monthly, and over the long term, you will be also fine, right? Less stress, less reward. But I think both cases could be turn out to do well. I'm going to wrap it up in a while. Actually, there are a lot of comments these days. Someone made a big comment. Holy crap, cool. I'm gonna read it and reply to you, but not in this video. That's a lot. Hey bro, take a look at Ethereum. Bitcoin cycle is almost doing the same thing as 2017 Altseason. It broke down about 62% and then puts a weekly bullish reversal candle. Yada. Yeah. I looked at that chart quite a lot lately, and you know, it looks quite similar indeed, especially if you look at on the monthly chart. It looks really similar. And again, it doesn't have to play out like this, but it's like something to not ignore. And also, if you look at the Ethereum dominance, feel like, man, it had the biggest monthly candle in this whole cycle, and it happened to be at this point right here, right? That's saying something. I think that's more suggesting a reversal than just a bounce, actually. So yeah. Yeah, I said, like, I'm 15-year-old with this voice effects. Best 15-year-old crypto YouTuber. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. The voices are bad. Takes away the information.
Sorry, sir.
I'm selling my alts. Alts have to go. Okay, again, bro. Again, it's not smart, man. And you look, what could I'm just straight up telling you, it's not smart. Okay. And what could happen is that altcoins on the Bitcoin pair go down a little more, and you say, ha, you see, but it's not about being right or not. It's about, is that at this point the smartest move to make, right? Because it could do this, right? Good. But it could also do this. Is that worth it for you? You have to ask yourself that, right? And if the answer is yes, then go ahead, man, go ahead. In my opinion, if you are now selling to time that little, then why did you buy in the first place, right? And yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes, man, things go down and people feel like, oh, I'm gonna sell to buy back lower. And sometimes it works. But there will be a time where it doesn't work and you miss out on a lot, right? And you can say like, oh, I'm gonna just buy it back on the way up. Sometimes there's not a lot of time for that. Right? So be careful at least with that. But alts has to go lower until QE. If that's your reason, then it's gonna be hard, man, because 2017 we had no QE. That was the biggest alt season we ever had. So I don't know. Plus, again, I don't know if you're talking about dollar pairs or Bitcoin pairs, right? If talking about Bitcoin pairs, again, then I stay with what I just said. But if you're talking about dollar pairs, yeah, then I need to add something for you because we had QT this whole time, right? But altcoins are in the bull market, right? So it doesn't like Bitcoin around 114, 26th of May. You now say around. Okay, two more comments and then we'll wrap it up, guys. Thank me later. Thanks again, DeLorean. I love it. I suggest you to check out Theta protocol. Protocol Theta. I know Theta. It's an altcoin. Potential and high. Easy 10, 20x tokens from where we are right now. Maybe. But I think that everything in this whole market has a great looking setup at this point, actually. Someone said, with full Bitcoin exposure, my portfolio will be up 40% from initials with no stress. Instead, now I'm down 40% from my initials with a lot of stress. The cycle is definitely my learning point. I definitely need a huge bong and hit with the... Yeah, that's the thing. Indeed, it's what we spoke about before as well. Like, you can just for a big part of the cycle be in Bitcoin, no worries about everything, and just be up. And instead, people are down quite a lot on alts and experience all this stress. And that's the biggest part of the market cycle, what we always see. And at a certain point, it will be that time for alts. I would say don't capitulate now. That's like the worst timing ever, of course. But it's great to learn this. People, witness this sometime, maybe in 2017, in 2021. Some people are witnessing it now and apply it. Yeah. Somebody said do the animations. It's cool.
Thanks, sir. I will take this advice with me and annoy the hell out of everybody that don't think it's nice. Love you.
So last one. This is in Dutch, but this guy, he said it's comparing apples to oranges, which is weird because in it's not apples with oranges in Dutch. It's apples and pears. And what's the English word of a pear? Pears. It's apples and pears actually here. So we this time is not different. We are different. But he says this cycle is not to be compared with historical data, ETF tariffs, institutional support, treasuries, retail is not here. Look, depends how you look at things, right? If you look at the narratives, yeah, that's always different. In that case, we can say every cycle is 100% different from the one before, because last cycle we had Elon Musk with Doge, and we did not have that in 2017. So we could say like, oh, it's different. Yeah, the narrative was different. But did the cycle eventually do something different? Not really, right? And now, yeah, there's even more adoption and wherever that's coming from, right? But does it make the cycle any different? I don't think that's the reason for that, actually. And retail is not here yet. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, then again, if you look at this, right? Let's apply, remove the noise a little bit. If you look the social metrics, it's low, no retail. And then again, the beginning of 2017, it was also very low, right? And beginning of 2021, it was a bit higher, but also low. Right, so that's actually the same. I don't know. I think that the danger in crypto often is that things feel a lot different, but then if you actually look like, yeah, is it? It's not so much maybe. So yeah. Guys, that's it. Been long enough. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, like the content. Tomorrow is going to be, again, a very great day because I have a video ready where I, again, rank, I think like 30 crypto YouTubers. Might be helpful. So do definitely check that out. So subscribe to the channel and like the video while you're at it. See you guys tomorrow.